Hi friends. So I just got out of dance class, so I'm a little bit, I've been sweating, but I got a good glow. Um, Dance class was good. We had to dance in stilettos. That's why I'm traveling right now. I'm traveling, so in a hotel. I just bought myself a plant to feel more at home. But yeah, I'm just taking a break from doing the nursing thing because with COVID and the pandemic and all that, it took its toll. I'm burnt out, and I just wanted to go to Santa Monica and LA and West Hollywood and just take dance classes at the best studios. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until I feel like I'm done, and I'm not done yet. So anyway, so I'm jumping on here real quick because I thought of another story, another nurse's story I wanted to tell you guys because it's really, really cool. So I'm going to share that with you right now. So stay tuned. Okay, so I'm sorry if there's like rattling going on. I don't have a good setup, obviously. I started without a good setup, but I'm trying to hold my hand steady so it doesn't click around. Okay, so I had this patient, we'll call him Charles, and he was in his late 90s, and he was admitted on my days off, so I didn't get to know much about him initially. I stepped in after he had already been there for a couple of days. He was in pretty bad shape. He was already on his way to pass away, and that's why he was there. He was there just to be taken care of until that happened. So he had a lot of issues with his lungs. He was congested all the time, and he couldn't really cough very well productively, but I mean, this was just the end stage of his life, so he wasn't with us for very long. But this is the cool thing. So because he was always weak and having difficulty breathing, he was always like just trying to stay asleep, because he was trying to, that's all he could do. He was too weak. So I didn't get to really develop a relationship with him. It was just like, it wasn't like my special patients, but this is really cool at the very end. So his final day, like I say, I think I only had him for like 3 days. It was a Saturday morning, and his whole family, well, I shouldn't say his whole family, but like 5 family members came in, and they were doing a bedside vigil. I take that back. They had been doing a bedside vigil for 2 days already, and now it was, and I mean like they slept overnight, everything. So now they all just wanted to go and have breakfast and get out of the building, get out of the hospital, and just like go have breakfast, have coffee, and just, get some fresh air. Like I say, get out of that environment. So they came to me and they asked me, do you think we should go? Because we don't want to go if he's very, very close to passing away, because we don't want him to pass away alone. So we'll wait if you think it's going to happen soon. And a lot of patients ask nurses that, and we just tell them, we're not God, we can't. Oh my gosh, my arm's getting tired, I gotta make this quick. So we can't predict that, but a lot of times patients do pass away when the family's not in the room. And that could just be because the soul wants privacy, or they feel like they can't let go in front of family members, like it might be too hard for the family member, I don't know. But it does happen, and as nurses, we've kind of come up with our own stories of what to tell the patient's family members. So I did tell them to make sure that they've said their goodbyes and that they've gotten their closure before they leave, and to expect that it's very possible he will pass while they're gone. Okay, so they leave, and they're like, okay, we'll be back in like 45 minutes. We're going to try and make it quick. I'm like, just take your time. That shouldn't matter. Just take your time. So it's getting like close to the 45 minutes, and I just realized that. So I go in his room, and he's laying there, but he's like really quiet. And I thought, okay, well, I don't want to disturb him. I'm just going to lift up the sheet at the bottom of his bed and check his skin color, see what's going on with that, because that tells us a lot. So I go to lift up the sheet to look at his legs and his feet, and it startled him. And all of a sudden he goes, you know, he goes, and then I go, Charles, there you are. And all of a sudden he just looks at me, but he's not really looking at me. Like his head just turned towards me, like in the direction of my voice. And then he just gave this big cough, like a bunch of stuff came up out of that cough. And he's looking at me, and I'm going, Charles, good. You gave a good cough. That's really good. You needed that, you know? And then, so he's looking at my direction of where my voice is. And then he looks at the foot of his bed, and all of a sudden he just goes, like he just gave the biggest smile. And there was nothing there to the human eye. And so, he had this huge smile, and then that was it. That was his last breath. He never took another breath after that. So I'm just standing there like, Charles, you know, hey buddy, where'd you go, you know? And he's still just looking straight ahead with that smile, like it was just frozen on his face, like his face was just so lit up. And then I take a few steps back, and I'm looking at him, and I could swear I saw his soul leave his body. Like, this is so weird. So the color all of a sudden just drained out of him, like a blanket. Like, say someone has a blanket or a sheet over their head, and you go to pull it down, you know, like you're pulling it down, and then it's just like this, right? The sheet, his color left. Just like this, like it left. He went from like flesh color, kind of yellowy though, because he was sick, to just white, like this whole, like the color just like this straight away, just went all the way down his body like a straight line. Kind of happened kind of quick, you know, like a straight line, and then just right out of the soles of his feet. It left out of the soles of his feet. I felt like it was his soul. I could be wrong, but this soul, like, it just seemed like I was watching his soul leave out of the soles of his feet, like just, like from the top of his head, just went out, just like towards whatever he was looking at that made him smile big. It just went right out the soles of his feet. So then it made me think about that, like, why do we call that the soles of our feet? Where did that come from? I mean, I never really looked it up, but it gave it new meaning to me, that his soul left out of the soles of his feet. That's what it looked like. It looked exactly like that. So the family came back within a few minutes, and they knew. They just went, like, they just stopped in their tracks. And I go, before you go in the room, he did pass away, but he smiled. Whatever was at the foot of his bed, he smiled so big. I said, I think he's still smiling. And so they're like, well, they went in the room, and I gave them their privacy, but it was such a cool situation. Like, as a nurse, I feel really blessed that I got to have some really cool experiences. So anyway, just another something to think about. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi, friends. So I just got out of dance class, so I'm a little bit, I've been sweating, but I got a good glow. Dance class was good. We had to dance in stilettos. That's why I'm traveling right now. I'm traveling, so in a hotel. I just bought myself a plant to feel more at home. But yeah, I'm just taking a break from doing the nursing thing, because with COVID and the pandemic and all that, it took its toll. I'm burnt out, and I just wanted to go to Santa Monica and LA and West Hollywood and just take dance classes at the best studios. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until I feel like I'm done, and I'm not done yet. So anyway, so I'm jumping on here real quick because I thought of another story, another nurse's story I wanted to tell you guys because it's really, really cool. So I'm gonna share that with you right now. So stay tuned.